What is going on, guys? Zarion here today, bringing you my tips and tricks on how to get K.E.M strikes in this game.
Secure your objectives. Securing C.
In the background of this commentary, there will be my first ever KEM strike. I ended up going 28-0 and the lag out, but I ended up cutting all that out in the end. I only put in the KEM strike gameplay itself. My loadout in the gameplay was a honey badger attached with a red dot, a grip, and the attachment silencer that comes with the weapon already. That's what I recommend on... If you're going for your first KEM strike, the honey badger is a really good gun just because it comes with this silencer already, and then you can just attach all the other attachments you want. Well, too. So yeah. My recommendations on going for your KEM strikes, it's just you would want to run an assault rifle most likely, just because they're so OP'd in this game, or a very powerful submachine gun. And also, you don't want secondaries or the lethal grenades, if anything, or not a primary grenade, but if anything, a lethal grenade as a stun. Anything else, though, you can just pick up a secondary, and you don't need your really primary grenades. You don't usually use them anyways, but stun could help in the end, but you always want those extra perk slots. Just because there's like a really weirded out perk loadout. Like, you know what I mean, like the number, you want as many of those as you can to start off with, but then the specialist will also help. But if you're not running specialist, you're running assault, that will also really mean something. For the start off on perks, I recommend speed, just because it can get you the advantage of getting to the enemy spawn as soon as you can. That is also a really base thing that I do to get KEM strikes. I rush to their spawn and I take my base location and I try to get as many people in the beginning of the game as I can. In the gameplay in the background, I didn't end up doing that. I just realized that after like maybe my third KEM strike. But also with that, with speed, if you have enough perk slots in the end, I would also suggest running marathon, just because it can help you spawn kill. And you don't definitely need it, but it would definitely be recommended. The second perk I recommend running is off the grid. It is like Ghost, kind of. It just gets you away from those SATCOMs that is highly used in this game because it's a lack of assault kill streaks. The SATCOM can be very powerful with the enemies. If you have a really smart enemy team, they will end up probably putting down a lot of SATCOMs. So getting that off the grid will get you off the map and then have you safe from those SATCOMs that are really overly used. But for final, my third and most important recommendation is Scavenger. You will definitely need this in either your first couple specialist kill streaks or in the main one for sure. Depends what you're running, assault or specialist. I honestly recommend running specialist if you're just going for kill streaks, but you always have to make sure you have enough ammo to get the kills and stay alive. Also, when you're going to pick up the scavenger kill streaks, or not the kill streaks, the scavenger packages, you gotta make sure that there's no enemies around you. You gotta watch your back, you gotta play around, you gotta play really smart. Because if you're killing a guy from far distance, you might not want to go get his scavenger, but if you need it, you absolutely need it. Just be stealthy, kind of run the sides of the map if you can. Don't run straight down the middle, that's just stupidity. But the ones that are close to you, that like the close distance ones, those are okay to get as long as you make sure that their enemies aren't around you at the time. So that's why it is kind of bad to camp in their spawn the whole game, but it's really easy and ballsy, I guess. But yeah, just be smart, play smart. If you do end up having enough perk slots left, I would recommend running Dead Silence or Amplified. Those really help. It's really easy to sound horn in this game. So people who with Amplified on, and if you don't have Dead Silence, you're really gotta be lucky almost. Because personally in this game, that's what I do to get a lot of my kills. I just sit in corners and sound horror, wait for people to run by. Or I run up to a location and sound horror and see what left or right, which way they're coming from. It really does help in this game, definitely. A lot more than any other Call of Duty does. So that would definitely help you get your KEM strikes faster. My recommendations for killstreak is definitely running specialist. You just got to make sure that you get the perks that go good with your type of style. Also, for rushing and stuff, what I was saying before, you gotta rush, but you can't push too far or else they'll be just spawning anywhere around you. You can't watch your back unless you have a friend. That's another thing in playing smart. Having friends in your party is definitely a big advantage, but playing solo, it's still not that hard to get them solo. Another thing is, if you guys haven't noticed, the maps in this game are a lot bigger than any other Call of Duty game. So when you get the medium maps, they're definitely going to be a lot easier to get. But when you're playing a huge map, it's going to take a little bit longer to get the chem strikes unless you are playing smart, knowing where they're spawning the whole time and rushing. Other than that, stay on the outskirts of the map, play smart, be smart, and those are my tips and tricks on how to get chem strikes, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment. Comment some tips and tricks for me. Thanks. See ya.